to security matters where Nigerians couldn't help but to take to their social media accounts and narrate their ordeal in the hands of hoodlums terrorizing some parts of Lagos and Ogun states as the lockdown order and the stay-at-home directive by the FG continues. And to look at this, we are joined by Michael Demehin. He is an author also, and he runs an NGO which focuses on youth and women development. A criminologist by discipline, he is a certified management consultant and a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants. He is with us right here in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you, Victor.
Of course.
Happy to be here.
Indeed. It's a pleasure to have you again. But so, I mean, we've seen on Twitter so much has been going on according to what people have been saying, you know, but, you know, there's also been the side of the police officers as well. But, you know, from a psychological point of view now, what would you think might have been responsible for all that we have seen in the past few days?
Okay, one of the things that we must understand as human beings is that from the psychological point of view, human beings are made up of three parts. We have the id, the ego, and the superego. The id is the selfish part of human being. If it's not well managed, it can escalate, it can turn, it can be self-centered, it can be criminal in nature. And one of the things that is there is that there's this law of survival of the fittest. When people are not given the right resources to live something, there's that instinct in them, if it is not well managed, can move on, that you have to survive. And in the process of trying to survive, a lot of things are going to come into place. They are going to go out after people they think they have capacity to get the resources necessary from. And this is an eye-opener to the Nigerian government and the Nigerian society as a whole, because like I was discussing earlier, we discovered that majority of the people in Nigeria, especially Lagos, Ogun, and some of the cities, live on daily income. And due to this lockdown, many of them find it difficult to make ends meet for themselves. And that instinct in them, because it shows that they are not developed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they should resort to...
Yeah, it is because of, if a well-educated person, someone that has been developed at that level, you'll be able to manage that instinct in you. Because, like I said, the id, the ego, the superego. The id is the egocentric aspect of human being. The ego is that aspect that will tell you don't do it, while the superego is neutral. But for people who are not well educated, sometimes the id in them is dominating. And this pushes them towards criminal tendency. Like in psychology, they will say that criminals involved in criminality for two reasons. It's either the pull factor is stronger than the push factor, or the push factor is stronger than the pull factor. But in this case now, these people have been locked down. There's no food. So there's a push factor in them, which is the hunger. And it's pushing them that go and get things where you can survive. But nevertheless, if these people have been well developed, if they have increased their intellectual capacity, there's possibility of them not involving in what they are doing.
In crime. So, you know, because I was going to say that, okay, as it is now, you know, there's a lockdown and everything, and a lot of people have been, going by just the conversation we just had with Amojo, a lot of people have been, you know, making good use of their time, using the internet to do challenges, to be creative, you know, and this creativity, like you said, PDD has raised $3 million, you know, so, I mean, these people could have actually just put themselves back in that compartment, so to speak now, and develop, like you're saying they should, you know, using these technology apps as well as social media apps. But why do you think that isn't happening?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the level of development any man we demonstrate will be determined by the level of their education, the level of their exposure. Within the last 2 weeks, I've done a lot of courses online, paid for, with dollars and all that. And I've had the training on Zoom, on WhatsApp, and so many other platforms. But because some of these people are not intellectually developed, they are not exposed to this platform that you are talking about now. They don't know what you are talking about online training and some other thing. What they care about is what they can use their hand to get at a particular time. That's the reason why I look.
So they care about it now?
Yes. And one of the things we have to look at also is that this lockdown has both negative and positive aspect. For those who have developed themselves intellectually, it could be a period of positive development for them.
Before we go deep into that, just hold your thoughts. We'll go deep into
Okay.
that, but that will be in a moment. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back shortly to continue on this discussion. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We still have with us in the studio a criminologist, Michael Dimehin, but also joining us via Skype from Lagos is Babatunde Koiki. Babatunde is a 2014 NMMA nominee, as well as a broadcaster in print and radio, as well as television. Babatunde, it's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much, Victor. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course. So quite a bit of water has gone under the bridge since the program started. But let me just quickly get to hear from you as a resident of Lagos and a social media user. What would you say has been the in thing? What has been happening? Because a lot of complaints have been going on. But what have you seen personally?
Well, I mean, we're talking regarding the Lagos and Ogun State unrest, right?
Yes, please.
Well, it's been nothing short of shocking. It's been frightening. It's been completely heartrending what residents of both Lagos and Ogun States have had to endure over the last 48 to 72 hours. It's been what a lot of people have actually predicted many years ago, that it was inevitable. It was a matter of time before these things came to the fore. And there's a very popular saying, Victor, about how when the poor have nothing more to eat, they will begin to eat the rich. And that is exactly what we're seeing.
Well, what could be the solution? I mean, because that definitely cannot be the norm. I mean, this is lawlessness, and this is not what citizens are expected to do, or to how citizens are expected to behave.
Yes, you're right. But the question is, you have to identify who are these perpetrators of this violence. And from the research and the kind of information I've received, these are usually teenagers between the ages of 15 and 18. Many of them are unemployed, have little skills, have little or no education, have been living on the streets, fending for themselves for quite a while, and they have now become indoctrinated into a lifestyle where they believe that might is right, that they have to take what they want in order to be able to live and survive. But interestingly, another cadre of these youths is quite surprising. Many of them are actually from middle-class families. Many of them are actually from middle-class educated families. What I've noticed, or what I found out, is that many of these children are actually indoctrinated at so-called JAM or WAEC centers, where parents send their kids for extra classes to prepare for the West African Senior Certificate examinations or the JAM examinations. Many of them are picked up and indoctrinated at this particular center. So it's a wide spectrum of kids are involved, both those who are educated and those who are not educated. And the problem really here is that the Nigeria police force is little equipped to deal with this. The default setting of the Nigeria police force is violence.
Tunde, let me quickly comment. Tunde, let me quickly comment. The Commissioner of Police in Ogun State said no robbery was reported to him or any of his commands. I mean...
I'm sorry for laughing, really. I'm sure you've been on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen the videos. I'm sure you've seen the audio messages that people have been circulating. Are you telling me that those are people crying wolf?
But at the same time, we've also seen messages on Twitter that countered the other narrative.
Look, I know people who personally have been victims of this. So unless you're telling me that the people who I know are blatant liars, I don't know what else to tell you. But I'd rather err on the part of caution that if people are truly being assaulted in their homes, are being dispossessed of their valuables, are being raped, then obviously you need the Nigerian police to step in. The truth is, the protection of lives and property is the paramount responsibility of any government, be it state or be it federal. And that is obviously the purview of the Nigerian state. If they can't do that, then I'm sorry, we might as well be in 1992 Mogadishu.
We definitely are in that era, and of course, we don't want to be in that. But I'll come back to you just quickly. Michael, you just heard Tunde's assertion. I mean, the thing is, It's there. The police have responded as well. But what is the solution? What's the quickest solution quickly?
The quickest solution is to involve in intellectual capacity development or capacity building.
How do we do that?
How we can do that is for the Nigerian government to go after this youth and make sure that they are properly enrolled in a training center. It's not, we are not talking about getting certificate now, but we are talking about reformation of mind for these people to really know what it entails to be a citizen of a country and how they can contribute their quota. Like the guy just said, now, I laughed when I heard the analysis of the Commissioner of Police because I knew people who were victims. In short, one of them called me yesterday and she told me that in their area they have not been sleeping for about 2 to 3 days because when these guys come, they involve in all sorts of assault. They take food, they take money, they take phone, and they mess up the ladies.
Basically, you're saying that mind reformation is
solution is very, very important beyond certification. Yeah. Because you can see that some people have even gone to school among them. They are not totally illiterate. Maybe they have school start and all that. Yeah. But education that we are talking about now, it goes beyond having certificate.
All right, Tunde, let me also quickly come to you and get your own observation on that in terms of trying to solve this, because he's blaming the government that the government needs to reform their minds. But I mean, nobody's talking about the parents and also individuals personally. Don't you think that should be also, quickly?
I totally agree with you. The truth is, if these children continue to be chased down and treated like hardened criminals, they will only get harder. And that means that they will find some way to get more sophisticated weapons and begin to go after soft targets like you and me. They will not go after the police, they will not go after the military. The truth is, everybody has to get on board. It's a concerted effort. The government, religious bodies, schools, and the family unit. It is very, very crucial. We have to learn to detoxify these children from this entitlement, this mentality that they have, that brute force is the only way that they can get what they want. We have to provide them with greater employment and education opportunities. These children cannot get 500 naira to eat. Also, we have to also provide alternative forms of employment for them, like sports, for instance. If these children were engaged in sporting activity that can bring them food,
Tunde, if I may quickly comment, I mean, Tunde, you're talking about sports, but as it is now, there's a lockdown, there's social distancing, and all of these measures that have been put in place just to see that the coronavirus doesn't spread beyond where it is. So sports, yes, it might be a good one, but not at least in this time. I wish we could go further, Tunde, but I have to say thank you for joining us on the program today and sharing your thoughts on this discussion. Thank you once again. Babatunde Koiki joining us via Skype from Lagos. Michael as well, thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts. A criminologist here in the studio in Lagos. But we'll bring you the movie videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
The meeting between the Speaker of the House of Representatives and Chinese ambassador over inhumane treatment meted out to Nigerians in the Asian country kickstart this week's most viewed video.
Including those of us here, the resistance we put up just to allow your medical personnel to come in.
The equipment, medical.
In fourth is the Chinese ambassador explaining why China decided to help Nigeria fight the COVID-19 pandemic.
The value of the equipment, medical supplies, is around $1.5 million, and including the other costs, like the chartered air flight, it's all around $2 million.
The sentencing of Funke Akindele and her husband by a court sitting in Ogun area of Lagos takes the third spot. Second spot is taken by the arrest of the celebrity duo by the police for hosting a house party amidst the coronavirus pandemic. While the first place is an environmental biologist explaining the dangers living things will face when the 5G network is launched in Nigeria.
I mean, anything that's a vertebrate that uses oxygen, exposed to millimeter waves for extended periods, ionizing radiation impact is immediate. Non-ionizing radiation, it's like death in doses. So the effect is gradual, and then you get to a point where your cells can no longer sustain that boiling microwave type environment.
Well, there you go. That's the program this week. But of course, the conversation doesn't end here. You can also be a part of it. Just send your thoughts to us at Channels TV, at Channels Beam, as well as at Victor_MBIDI, also using the hashtags Channels Beam and hashtag coronavirus. That's the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias.